Hey golfers, and welcome back to another episode of the Second Swing Thoughts podcast. And today's a special one. We are down at Titleist Performance Institute, actually at the Titleist Content Studio. We've got Tom Fisher with us, Director of Product Marketing, and it's special because we've got some new stuff to talk about today. Titleist GT1 and some hybrids as well. So it's a really exciting time for Titleist. Tom, thanks for spending the time with us to chat about it and kind of let the viewers and listeners in on what's new with GT1. And again, GT has been super successful. It's been awesome for our fitters, a bunch of great feedback. And so the GT story has definitely hit home, I think, both with just golfers in the Bay, but also our fitters.
Fantastic. Well, Drew, fantastic to be with you again. Thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, GT's off to a flying start. Been in market a couple of months now, and the performance is exactly what we expected. I know Steph and Chuck and the team have worked on it for several years now. Bringing this new construction with this new performance, and delighting golfers and your fitters around the world. So
yeah, it's been awesome to see just how quickly we can get into some of this stuff later, but how quickly GT was put into bags of amateurs, but also just pros, the Titleist staffers. It was like that. And you got GT drivers, and so now we have the new stuff here. So you got some fun toys at your right hand there. So getting into GT1, let's start there. In the past, you've kind of had this the cadence of the one being an addition to the series. So GT1, talk to us about just the overarching theme behind the driver, the Fairway hybrid, what it's intended to do, and how it fits within the lineup.
Well, perfect. So GT1 is kind of certainly still drafting off the GT drivers, so it has everything, all the bells and whistles that GT came with. So the seamless thermoform crown, with the PMP material, split mass construction, while we've kind of used that mass differently than the others, and I'll explain to you that in a moment. Still got the speed ring with VFT, so all the bells and whistles and giving you all the performance that you've expected and seen in GT2, 3, and 4. But GT1, with that split mass construction, we've deepened the CG, and that's by design. Our one product has always been kind of that high launching, more moderate spin rate for that golfer, and that's kind of really where this GT1 is remaining. So CG is deeper to help the ball get the launch up in the air. Launching it higher than TSR1, that was kind of a design goal for us. Feedback from the golfers and from our player test panel that they would like to see still it go a little higher, but not change spin rate. And that's where obviously this split mass construction can really help us, where we can lower CG, move it further back to give you some inertia, but also get that launch high, but maintaining a good moderate spin rate. We didn't want the spin rate to increase because we know that could also hurt from a distance perspective. So deepest CG, highest launching, more moderate spin rate, which we know is going to be another tool in the tool chest for your fitters out there to really dial in golfers.
Right, that's the cool part about this is everybody's been excited about GT2 and GT3, and so I guess in terms of the driver, and we can get into the fairways as well, but where does the driver then fit in terms of how does it compare to GT2 then? And is it close, or even GT3? Where does it fit in there? How does it compare to those two?
So with its deepest CG back, it's going to be a little high launching and spin a little bit more than GT2. But what the nice thing about it is that we've actually got other options in the GT1 as well, because we're going to have 6 different CG locations now when we bring the one, and I'll explain to you about that in a minute. Of course, you've got 2 different CG locations in GT4. You've got a different CG location in GT3, and then obviously GT2. So that gives you 4. But now in the one, you've actually got 2 settings, and how do you do that when you've only got really that one back aft weighting, that sure fit weight? Well, GT1 has always, the one model has always come in a lightweight construction, and for the most part, that's what it's going to be. Our GT1 is an 8-gram lighter head weight. It's paired with a lighter weight shaft. We're introducing the new Air Speeder 2nd generation, 35, 40-gram shaft, and it has a lighter grip. So right off the bat, it's really obviously designed for that moderate to slow swing speed golfer. So get more speed with a lighter product, and obviously give you a CG location that helps get the ball up in the air. So that gives us obviously that deeper CG, but we also believe that this has a wider net that we can cast with this product. So not only also the faster swing players can also benefit from higher launch and maybe more spin. So we're also going to have what we kind of call our traditional or a heavier build for the one, and we're going to be able to get a little bit more weight in that aft position. So add another 6 grams back to the head to kind of get it on par with GT2, 3, and 4 head weight. So therefore, golfers who are used to kind of that more traditional head weight can benefit from that launch and that spin in the GT1 family, and it also gives you another CG location. And as you may or may not know, CG location in terms of depth from forward to back not only changes launch and spin, but it also changes face closure as well. And you can time up CG location with different swing dynamics to not only get you the launch and spin needed, but also get that face square at impact. So like I said, tons of tools for the fitters to use to really dial in golfer.
Yeah, so with that, maybe heavier head weight, you can really, it doesn't even necessarily just fit into these players that might swing slow, or, it just depends on how you launch the ball, how you spin the ball, and you can fit anywhere from GT1 to GT4, just depending on how you hit the ball.
Exactly, yeah, and that's the beauty of we always say go get fit, right? So we have, all these different options to fit any type of golfer needed that wants to obviously get into this really high performing GT product. And yeah, this GT1 shouldn't just be thinking and be pigeonholed as it's for moderate to slow swing speed players, because it's a lightweight configuration. You can do so much more now with this product, and then obviously you have the 2, 3, and 4 to really dial golfers in as well.
And so one thing I was also really excited about that I learned about today with the GT1 models, this is also, I believe, is true for the Fairway, so we get into that, but is the youth or junior builds as well. Yeah. So that was really cool that you guys are kind of adding to sort of the options with GT1.
Yeah, we're introducing, as I told you, we're launching with Fujikura the new Airspeeder, but we actually work with them to develop an R4 Flex with them as well. So our R3 Flex is predominantly being kind of that ladies kind of profile, and we've actually then gone a little step softer in that R4 Flex, and we've then worked with our player test panel and with R&D to really nail the right length and the right shaft profiles, and we've got this youth spec now as well, which is 2 inch under men's standard, so obviously an inch shorter than ladies, and that's going to be available across our product lineup starting in 2025, and we won't stop there. We're going to continue to add products for that type of junior player.
Yeah, I know as the game continues to grow, there's going to be more and more players sort of in that younger ages that are really trying to get dialed in and play a lot of golf. So had to bring that up. I didn't want to miss that for today.
Yeah,
so,
appreciate it. Yeah, we're excited about that.
So the GT1 Fairways now, we'll get into those before we're getting into the hybrids. What are we looking at with these? And obviously I also wanted to ask about kind of lofts and stuff too, because I think we talked about the player the most common player that's going to have GT1 in the bag will have maybe some higher lofted fairway woods too. Yeah. So kind of the functionality of those and what's all involved with GT1.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, so GT1 fairway will certainly draft off, for the most part, the GT1 driver, where it will be our highest launching, more moderate spin rate compared to GT2 and 3. So again, another option for the fitters and the golfer out there. It is our shallowest model as well. So obviously being shallow, we can get that CG nice and low, which is also going to help with that launch. But the one thing that we've also added, which again is going to add more playability and versatility to this product, similar to what you see in our GT4, we have a forward and aft weighting. Wow. So we have obviously an 11 gram weight and a 3 gram weight that comes as standard in the head. And as standard, we're going to have the 11 weight in the aft in the back position, which obviously will create that higher launching, more moderate spin rate for that golfer. But we believe that, again, like the GT1 driver, this has more playability for more golfers. So by switching and moving that 11 gram more in the forward position, that's obviously going to change a lot of dynamic lofting. It's going to change launch and spin rates. We might be able to get a bit more speed out of it as well. So this is going to be a great option for even a better player that actually likes a more shallower looking golf club at address. And I wouldn't be surprised that we're going to see some GT1s on the PGA Tour next year as well, just because of what we've done to this product.
So it seems like even with both driver and fairway, you've kind of added some things to make them more playable for the masses, not maybe just the moderate swing speed type of golfer, someone looking for speed. Anybody with really any club speed can put that in the bag and it's going to be functional for them.
Well, it's all about what we've looked at, right? When you look at launch and spin rates, there are better golfers that, don't spin the ball enough and need ball get up in the air. Don't, like I said, just pigeonhole this product in a lightweight construction where people will ignoring, oh, that's not for me because I don't play a lightweight product. We don't want that to be the case. Let's pick the right product that's going to really elevate your game. So, yeah, we're really excited about it and going to, like I said, lots of options now.
So how many loft options are there then with the GT1?
Yeah, so we go from 15 degrees all the way up in 3-degree loft increments all the way up to 24 degrees, which is kind of our 9-wood. But then obviously with the sure fit hosel as well, where you can extend that even higher or obviously bring that 15 down even lower and the lofts in between. So yeah, lots of options for those high lofted fairway woods, which is, as you know, quite popular right now.
It's kind of crazy how the 7-wood and the 9-wood have taken off in our fittings. It seems like so many golfers are looking for that. So awesome to see that it's available with GT1.
Yep.
Now kind of moving into the hybrids now.
Yeah.
So we have GT1, 2, and 3 for hybrids.
Yeah.
And it's, as you even kind of noted today when you were kind of presenting the product to us, that it's almost in a way, as we just kind of alluded to with the fairway woods, the hybrid category is changing a little bit, and the use of it and how many players are throwing hybrids in the bag, but there's still some practicality with them and some use for them. So talk to me about the GT hybrids, what's in there, how much of the technology has changed over, say, TSR?
Hybrid category, we are committed to all categories. I know, obviously, we just talked about high lofted fairway woods have kind of taken a little bit of love from these hybrids, but we are obviously about performance. And Tom Bennett, who's our principal engineer who oversees our fairway woods and hybrid categories, knocked it out of the park with those. And there was a really clear design goal with these, which is all about how do we improve stability and how do we move adjustability, right? Because we're obviously, one of our core strategies is fitting and really, getting golfers, dialed in from a performance perspective. And that shines through in all these hybrids. So we've got the 1, 2, and 3. And right out the bat, we talk about different launch angles and spin rates. So GT1 is going to be our highest launching product. GT2 is still going to be high launching, but just a little bit lower than GT1, and then GT3 will be that mid to low launching product.
Sure.
But so that's kind of how they separate. But then obviously from that standpoint, the stability and adjustability is there in all 3 models. And how we've done it is we're introducing new flat weights. And when you introduce new flat weights, you can then, really improve not only inertia, which is huge in hybrids, so, stability, but you also can adjust CG and fitting capabilities. So in the GT1, similar to what we did in the fairway wood, we added forward and aft weighting. So we can actually improve inertia by having this aft weighting. You can move that weight further back, which is going to raise forgiveness and stability. But again, for the better player, you can then maybe move that weight a little bit forward, get that launch and that spin rate a little bit differently if that's needed for the golfer. So again, tons of adjustability. This is, again, more of a kind of the shape of this is very similar to what we did with TSR1. So a little bit of a larger profile. And obviously we go from 20 degrees all the way up to 29 degrees in this hybrid. So plenty of lot of options for this product. So we're super excited about this one as it relates to really helping move CG forward and back to change launch and spin and change inertia properties. So this is going to be a really, really
it's
good
interesting because I feel like in the past, especially with I'm thinking like GT3, TSR3 or 4 has kind of been the one that's had the adjustable weighting, whether it comes to whether it could be hybrids or fairways or even drivers. But to see the adjustable weighting options now with GT1 is really cool because, again, I'm talking from the fitter's perspective, they just want, as you said, more tools in the chest to play with, and so it's really cool to have that.
Chris Tooten, who oversees our tour, he's like a scratch golfer, and he's gonna play GT1. Yeah. He plays TSR1, and he's like all over this one because he can obviously really dial it in. So again, yes, it's a higher launching product, but with this new adjustability, it opens the door for much more golfers.
Absolutely. So now getting into GT2 and GT3, so we've been talking all about GT1 so far, but let's not forget GT2 and 3 in terms of the drivers and fairways have been very successful, so now we're adding the hybrids.
We are adding hybrids, and the theme remains, right? Stability and adjustability, but you'll notice that we've actually moved these flat weights from the forward to the aft settings, more to the heel and toe, which really actually for these 2 products boosts inertia and stability through the roof compared to where TSR was. So by moving weight out to the perimeter of the product, it really is improving the stability. So In the GT2, you can see we've got, flat weights, and they're both the same. 11 and a 5 gram are the stock, but of course we'll have additional flat weights that your fitters will have that they can really obviously change head weight and change CG locations with the orientation of the weights. But what we're going to see here is tons more stability and inertia, and that really does matter on a hybrid. We talked about it earlier. Yeah, okay, you want inertia on a driver. If you can save 2 or 3 yards on a miss hit on a driver, great. Okay, you're a little bit further down the fairway. But saving, 3 to 4, 5 yards on a hybrid when you're hitting it into the green and you need to hit a number to carry the water, to carry a bunker or false front, that makes a big difference. So inertia gains in hybrids, and like irons, is huge for a golfer, and we've seen huge inertia gains, and I don't think you're going to see higher inertia properties on any hybrid next year like we have in GT.
Really?
Absolutely. So you've got mass inertia, you've obviously got these heel and toe weightings to similar to like how your fitters are going to use GT3. They can really change the where the CG location is from heel to toe, not only to obviously help dispersion if someone's struggling with face closure, but they also we use these weights to really like align, CG to impact location. So if we can really do that for a golfer, it unlocks even more performance. It gives you more ball speed, more consistent ball speed, more consistent launch and spin rates, and a tighter dispersion as well. So we should use your fitters are going to use these weights not only for dispersion but really to improve strike location and performance. And that what we see in the GT2 kind of goes again into the GT3. You can see we've got toe and heel weightings in the 3. The inertia on this is even higher than what we improved on GT2, yet we also made the GT3 smaller from torque feedback. We wanted a more like the 818 kind of shape, which was kind of like this ideal classic shape. Yeah. Exactly. So it kind of mirrors off that shaping, so it's smaller than TSR3, but the inertia is significantly more. And how's that accomplished? Because of these new flat weights that we put on the toe and the heel. Yeah.
So in terms of I guess if we were to take I guess, again, I know it's brand new, right? But in terms of the distribution of the hybrids out there among golfers, how many of what percent would be playing the 1 versus the 2 versus the 3, do you think?
I think the 2 will probably be the most popular, just because it kind of sits right in that middle. It's a great, sleek, classic shape, workable, but still has that tons of inertia. The 3 obviously smaller, so it's going to suit a certain eye. And I think I would say the same thing with the 1 being a little bit of a larger, more of a a hybrid crossover to kind of a fairway wood shaping in its design and look. But I would probably say that you're going to see the 2 being probably the most popular, and then the 3 and the 1 are going to be kind of joint neck and neck. But go get fit, right? You're going to see clearly different launch and spin characteristics. They've obviously got tons of inertia in there, and then obviously we have a slew of custom hybrid shafts that your fitters will be able to really get the golfer getting in the right direction with any of these hybrids. So, and it's important to hit a number. These are gapping clubs, right? So these fit
iron replacements for the most part. You're taking an iron out probably to put this in the bag.
You've got it. This is going to be after your longest playable iron, and then obviously your driver, and we're going to fit that in with a group of hybrids, utilities, fairway woods, and that's what your fitters are trained to do. And they've got lots of options with Titleist.
So now at this point, we're into 2025, and we've got the GT lineup is now extended. Yep. You got GT 1, 2, 3, 4 in the driver. Yep. GT 1, 2, 3 fairways, GT 1, 2, 3 hybrids. Yep. So at this point, if a golfer is looking for something new, they're trying to upgrade their game, and they haven't considered GT yet, well, guess what would you tell that person?
I would say they're missing out, ultimately. Yeah. I mean, we've got products for everyone, right, in terms of all different CG locations, different inertias, different launch and spin rates. So, got options for everyone. Also, all of our products are adjustable. Like all drivers, all fairways, all hybrids, all have CG adjustability, head weight adjustability, and all have the SureFit hosel, which no other really manufacturer can say. So when it comes to actually, obviously, getting the best performance out of your product, not only do we have a lot of tech and performance under the hood, but we have all the tools and all the adjustments that can, as we know, getting fit can unlock even more performance. So if you haven't tried these yet, if you want stability, you want speed, you want it to look and sound good, you should go and check out the GT lineup.
Yeah, it's been received so well by fitters, and then obviously in the fittings it's performed really well. So yeah, so many options. The adjustability aspect that you mentioned is certainly second to none in the industry right now. So golfers, go get fit. Tom, thank you for joining and telling us all about the new stuff from Titleist. It's always exciting for us.
Always a pleasure being with you. Thanks, Drew. Appreciate it.